How's it going, everybody? The PlayStation Days of Play sale is running from now until June 10th, and there's a ton of absolute bangers on sale for up to 90% off. Every day I put together lists of the top games you can get at a deep discount, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Alright, with that out of the way, that's enough yapping from me, so let's get straight into it. For $37, 25% off, Ready or Not is a tense, realistic tactical shooter where you lead an elite SWAT team to restore order in a city overrun by ruthless criminals and widespread corruption, danger, and chaos. You'll plan and execute high-stakes missions, positioning your squad for precise breaches, neutralizing threats, and rescuing civilians, all while making life-or-death decisions that affect your team's survival and the success of each operation. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $23, 67% off, Doom the Dark Ages is a dark fantasy sci-fi prequel to Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal that casts you as the Slayer in a brutal medieval war against the forces of hell. Wield devastating weapons like the Super Shotgun and the new Shield Saw, pilot a towering Atlan mech and a fire-breathing mecha dragon, and tear through demon-infested castles and hellscapes in id Software's largest, most expansive levels yet. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $20, 67% off, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a cinematic first-person shooter reboot that delivers a gritty single-player campaign alongside a massive, ever-evolving online multiplayer experience. You'll engage in intense close-quarters firefights across global locations, take on cooperative special ops missions, and fine-tune your loadouts with an extensive gunsmith system featuring deep weapon customization and tactical equipment. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $26, 25% off, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is a complete remaster of the classic Star Wars Battlefront games, letting players fight iconic battles across the galaxy on modern consoles, both online and offline. Traverse massive locations, pilot legendary vehicles and starships, and battle as heroes and villains, while experiencing campaign missions, galactic conquest, and expanded hero assault across land, air, and space. It's an 83 average on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $38, 45% off, Battlefield 6 is the latest all-out warfare entry, featuring a global-scale campaign across the Sahara, Gibraltar, and New York, alongside large-scale multiplayer modes including Conquest, Breakthrough, and Rush. Fight in high-intensity infantry combat, aerial dogfights, and tank battles using the new kinesthetic combat system, and unleash creativity in the revamped Battlefield Portal sandbox with NPC scripting and customizable game modes. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 75 hours to platinum. For $10, 50% off, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is a stunning revival of the iconic 2009 blockbuster, rebuilt for a new generation with fully remastered visuals. Relive the legendary single-player campaign as Task Force 141 battles across globe-spanning missions, now featuring improved textures, animations, physically based rendering, and high dynamic range lighting that breathe new life into a celebrated franchise classic. It's a 93 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $10, 80% off, BioShock The Collection is a remastered anthology of the award-winning BioShock series, where you return to the haunting city of Rapture and the skybound Columbia to experience their gripping, story-driven worlds. You'll explore richly detailed environments and engage in intense combat with a mix of powers, weapons, and strategy, while uncovering the dark histories of these iconic settings. It's a 92 average on game rankings, average trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 65 hours to get all 3 platinums. For $10, 75% off, Doom Eternal is an adrenaline-fueled first-person shooter that casts you as the Doomslayer, humanity's ultimate warrior, battling hellish forces across Earth and other dimensions. Move at lightning speed and wield a devastating arsenal to obliterate hordes of demons, while using the unholy trinity of combat, glory kills for health, incineration for armor, and chainsaw executions for ammo, to survive ever-escalating waves of enemies. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $6, 90% off, the Metro Saga bundle includes all 3 acclaimed games, Metro 2033 Redux, Metro Last Light Redux, and Metro Exodus Gold Edition, delivering one massive, story-driven first-person shooter experience. Journey from the claustrophobic tunnels beneath Moscow to the vast, dangerous wastelands of post-apocalyptic Russia, fighting both human and mutant threats in tense, cinematic encounters. It's an 82 average on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 90 hours to get all 3 platinums. For $5, 75% off. Fashion Police Squad is a humorous retro FPS where you fight fashion crime as Sergeant Dez, armed with weapons like the Belt of Justice and weaponized sock gnomes across the streets of Trendopolis. Each enemy requires the right fashion solution, so you'll need to switch weapons strategically, all while uncovering a fabulous story full of dazzling encounters, fierce runway shows, and the baddest bosses in the fashion industry. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $5, 83% off. Titanfall 2 Ultimate Edition is a first-person shooter where you pilot agile titans and skilled pilots through vertical combat across futuristic battlefields, combining parkour and firepower to dominate the chaotic frontier. You'll experience the full single-player campaign and competitive multiplayer, and use all unlocked titans, pilot classes, and advanced loadouts from the Jumpstart pack while customizing weapons and war paints. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $6, 80% off. Prey is a deeply atmospheric sci-fi thriller that strands you aboard Talos 1, a massive, high-tech research station orbiting the moon in 2032. You awaken as the central subject of a dangerous experiment gone horribly wrong, unleashing a shape-shifting alien threat known as the Typhon that turns every corridor, lab, and maintenance shaft into a deadly, unpredictable maze, all while you explore the sprawling, interconnected station. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 45 hours to platinum. For $9, 70% off. The Serious Sam collection puts you in the boots of legendary action hero Sam Serious Stone as you battle a merciless alien invasion across ancient Egypt and South America with non-stop, old-school mayhem. The collection includes Serious Sam HD, the first encounter, the second encounter, Serious Sam 3 BFE, and both major expansions, delivering pure arcade shooter chaos from start to finish. It's an 81 average on game rankings, and there's unfortunately a broken trophy making the platinum unobtainable. For $4, 60% off. Doom 3 is a critically acclaimed action horror shooter that reimagines the original Doom, plunging you into a demon-infested Mars facility as a lone marine fighting to stop a full-scale invasion from Hell. Navigate dark, claustrophobic corridors, battle terrifying enemies, and balance intense shotgun-driven gunplay with survival horror elements as flickering lights, oppressive sound design, and sudden ambushes keep you on edge. It's an 87 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $6, 85% off. Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus is an intense, story-driven first-person shooter that follows war hero BJ Blazkowicz as he fights to free Nazi-occupied America. Set in an alternate 1961, you'll rally the resistance and ignite a revolution across devastated cities, rural strongholds, and secret Nazi facilities, unleashing devastating dual-wield weapons and enhanced combat abilities to tear through soldiers, mechs, and monstrosities. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 10 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $9, 80% off. Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition Duke Nukem Bundle is an over-the-top first-person shooter where you step into Grayson Hunt's boots after a crash landing on a deadly resort planet, confronting the commander behind his betrayal. This edition adds Duke Nukem as a playable character for the campaign and exclusive new content, delivering chaotic combat, inventive skill shot kills, and outrageous humor in one definitive package. It's an 84 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $11, 55% off. Killing Time Resurrected is a remastered first-person shooter set in the 1930s estate of heiress Tess Conway, where a botched eternal life ritual unleashes supernatural horrors and you must destroy a mystical Egyptian water clock to lift the curse. Explore over 45 killing zones, uncover clues through restored live-action apparitions, and battle enemies from both the 3DO and PC versions in 4K with smoother controls. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $15, 25% off. Dusk is an unapologetic retro first-person shooter across 3 handcrafted campaign episodes where you battle mystical cultists, possessed militants, and darker forces lurking beneath the earth with a vast arsenal including sickles, swords, crossbows, dual-wielded shotguns, and rocket launchers. Fast, brutal, and dripping with 90s DNA, it delivers relentless, uncompromising action with secrets that reward the curious. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $8, 50% off. Slayers X Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of the Slayer is a retro boomer shooter dripping with 90s edgelord energy, where you defend Earth from the evil Psycho Syndicate using an arsenal of absurd weapons like the Glass Blaster, Explosive Sludge Launcher, and Triple Helix Missile Launcher. Hunt enemies across hilariously mundane locations, sewers, laundromats, a dollar store, Professor Pizza, in a loving parody of shooter excess. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $20, 20% off, Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War is a retro first-person shooter where you play as Major Samantha Dietz battling the arachnid threat across a solo campaign packed with missions, secrets, and FMV appearances from General Johnny Rico himself. Wield over 30 weapons, from the classic Morito rifle to tactical nukes and mechanical bipeds, burning, dismembering, and crippling waves of bugs in humanity's desperate fight for survival. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $11, 55% off, Warhammer 40k Boltgun Forges of Corruption Edition is the ultimate retro-inspired FPS experience, combining the base game with the Forges of Corruption DLC for the most complete adventure in the grim-dark universe. You'll take on the role of a battle-hardened space marine, blasting through hordes of chaos space marines and demons with a devastating arsenal in fast-paced, 90s-style boomer shooter combat. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 20 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $8, 80% off, Rage 2 is an open-world first-person shooter where you play as Walker, the last ranger of the wasteland, fighting to overthrow the tyrannical authority after an asteroid devastates Earth. Tear across deserts and ruined highways using powerful nanotrite abilities, chaotic gunplay, and explosive vehicle combat, while battling gangs like the Goons and hunting down the authority's war machine across the wasteland. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $14, 30% off, Wizordum is a fast-paced fantasy FPS inspired by 90s classics like Hexen and Heretic, where you play as one of the last mages of Wizordum's sanctuary racing to stop the forces of chaos from consuming the kingdom. Wield a vast arsenal of magical weapons, explore secret locations, solve puzzles, and journey across swamps and snowy mountains while completing speedrun challenges and climbing leaderboards for the fastest times. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour is a classic action shooter where you blast aliens, save Earth, and deliver iconic one-liners in over-the-top, chaotic style, revisiting all the humor and carnage that made the original legendary. Play all new Episode 5 with bonus content, re-recorded dialogue from John St. John, and a fresh score from original composer Lee Jackson, all fully remastered with updated visuals. It's an 87 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $6, 70% off, Rise of the Triad Ludicrous Edition is the definitive release of the cult classic FPS, where you play as one of 5 elite hunt operatives infiltrating a cult monastery with ludicrous weapons including dual-wield pistols, the Drunk Missile, the Excalibat, and the Hand of God. 4 campaign modes, expansion packs, never-before-seen beta content, and 60 FPS HD gameplay with classic cheat codes make this the ultimate Rise of the Triad experience. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 70 hours to platinum. Alright, that's it for today's list, everybody. If you've played any of these already, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help others find great games too, it's not just mine. As always, I want to thank all my channel members for their generous support, but to all you out there who watch, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff as well, thank you. You're the reason I'm still having fun making all these videos every day, and I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you out there. If you can spare $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos, and it helps me out more than you know. But I know times are tough out there, so all I do ask is, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with any new sale stuff that I put out, leave a like, and comment down below if you've got any of these platinums or plan on going for any of them.